Have you ever wondered how federal lands are leased for oil and gas exploration? Well, it's a complex process that involves collaboration between two key federal agencies, the Bureau of Land Management, or BLM, and the Forest Service. Today we will delve into the intricate process of securing an oil and gas lease on National Forest System lands. The BLM and the Forest Service jointly oversee the leasing process. The BLM is the authority that issues oil and gas leases, but it does so with the explicit consent of the Forest Service. As a rule of thumb, the Forest Service manages the surface of the lands, while the BLM manages the subsurface. The two agencies work together to establish permitting conditions under their distinct management authorities. To obtain an oil and gas lease, a prospective lessee must adhere to a number of laws and closely coordinate with both the BLM and the Forest Service. The Forest Service makes the first move by determining which federal lands are available for leasing. Areas withdrawn from mineral leasing, recommended for wilderness designation, or designated as wilderness study areas are excluded. Once availability decisions are made, a prospective lessee can submit an informal request to the BLM for a specific parcel to be offered for sale. If the Forest Service consents to the sale and the BLM confirms the parcel's availability and suitability, it is included in a notice of competitive oil and gas lease sale. But before drilling begins, the successful lessee must obtain an approved application for permit to drill and a surface use plan of operations. This process involves a thorough review under the National Environmental Policy Act, during which the Forest Service identifies minerals available for leasing. Lands open to development, subject to standard lease conditions or specific stipulations, are distinguished on maps. The Forest Service promptly communicates its availability decision to the BLM, which adopts this decision in the leasing process. Prospective lessees then submit an expression of interest to the BLM, an informal request to consider specific lands for oil and gas competitive lease sales. The BLM reviews nominated lands to ensure their availability, eligibility, and suitability, obtaining the Forest Service's consent for leasing. To develop an oil and gas lease on National Forest System lands, the lessee must submit an application for permit to drill to the BLM. The BLM forwards the application, surface use plans of operations, and notices of staking to the Forest Service for approval. A 30-day public notice is posted by both agencies for all applications and notices. The Forest Service reviews surface use plans of operations for compliance with environmental laws and notifies the lessee and the BLM of its decision. The BLM, in turn, issues the final approved application for permit to drill after receiving the Forest Service's approval. Once all necessary approvals and permits are secured, drilling activities can commence. So, in a nutshell, the process of leasing federal lands for oil and gas exploration on National Forest System lands is a meticulous and collaborative effort involving both the BLM and the Forest Service, with careful consideration of environmental and legal factors.